What's good, people? This is Holy Warrior Yancey. I just felt as if I need to make a video for men who are hurt by betrayal. For men who may have been in a relationship or men who are married who experience their significant other cheating on them. One of the main reasons that really tugged on my heart to make such a video was I remember when I was going through. I was married and I was cheated on by my spouse and I was hurt. There was an onslaught of emotions that just overtook me like a tsunami. I was angry. I was confused as far as did I really know this person that I chose to spend the rest of my life with. I was hurt. You know, I was like, how can the person who told me I was their best friend, the person that I've been there for, the person that was there for me, how can they do me like that? All the precious moments and tender moments we shared. You know what I mean? I was really confused about who this person was, and I was just so devastated by everything. But anyway, I really felt led to make this video because when I was going through, all the videos that I seen didn't really have a men's perspective. A lot of the videos that I looked for concerned, a cheating spouse. There was more so the story of women who been cheated on by their husbands. And don't get me wrong, I learned some things, um, especially from I believe um, the I believe her name is Reva Timms. There was a pastor named Zachary Timms who had this big scandal and he cheated on his wife, and she was hurt by that. And her story of healing was just remarkable. And I really related to the book because when I was going through, God also took me through something similar that she shared, and that was God convicting myself of my wrong. I was so caught up in being betrayed and the things that I was going through. God had me look at the mess that I brought to the table. But anyway, here's my advice for men who are going through betrayal. First things first, you have to be honest with yourself as far as if you can take it. Because a lot of men really can't take it and have to be honest, fellas. You know what I mean? When it comes to being cheated on, women take it better than we do. But let me get on and continue what I'm saying. You have to make up in your mind if you're going to deal with it or not. And this is really important. What made me really stay and fight, honestly, was the fact that I had kids with the woman. And not just that, but also I was married, and the vows I took, they meant something to me, you know? But I understand that, you know, some people may face different situations than what I faced, you know? I understand that, you know, there are men out there who have been betrayed by their wife and they're hurt. And they look at it like this, like, hey, you know, we're married, but we don't have no kids. Hey, I don't want to be in no situation where I'm raising a child that's not mine or being with a woman that I can't trust. I'm going to be out. You know, and for men that choose that, you know what I mean? If that's how they feel in their hearts, then by all means, do what you think you got to do. I mean, if you're married and significant other cheats on you, I'm sure that God wants you to work it out. But hey, hey, according to Christ, man, you know, you got a way out. You know, they commit adultery, you know, you can free yourself. Then I know that there's also people who are in the same situation as me, you know, that wanted their families to stay together. So they took the hurt head on. And by the hurt, this is what I mean by the hurt. You know, your wife, your significant other, having sex with another man, doing the same things that she do with you to that other man. Maybe doing some things that y'all don't do with another man. You know, some men can't deal with their women going down on other men, having sex with other men, just keeping it real. So, like I said, the first thing you need to do is really consider, are you able to live with what happened? That's really half the battle. And it's always safe to assume that when a woman cheats on you, she's doing the same sexual things with that man or more, you know what I mean, that like she do with you. That's safe to assume that. Now, of course, they're not going to admit what they do. And anything they do admit, there's some juicy details left out for sure. But my advice, you need to consider, can you accept it or not? Because if you can't accept what was done, don't waste your time. Don't even waste her time. Another thing, my advice for brothers. I know that you're angry and you're upset. You feel violated. You feel disrespected by the man that your significant other or your wife or whatever you want to call it, whatever situation that you in. You know what I mean? You feel a certain way about the guy slept with your wife. But this is the thing. Your beef isn't with that guy. You know what I mean? This dude has nothing to do with your marriage. Your beef is with your wife. It's one thing if, let's say, your wife slept with somebody that you knew personally, or a family member, or somebody that's like in your circle in some kind of way. That's one thing. Then you really got a right to be mad at that dude personally. But if it's some random dude that you don't know that she just let in, you're beefing with that dude. regardless if that dude knew she was married or not. Unfortunately, there's predators out here, and only thing you can do is let God deal with them for their lack of morals. Your real beef is with your wife, your girlfriend, or whoever that cheated on you. That's who you beef with. They the ones that chose to mess with somebody else in a time of difficulty, rather than take the time, effort to fix whatever's wrong in your relationship, to get whatever misunderstandings straightened out or whatever. Rather than do the right thing and work things out, they choose to slowly let this other person in their heart. You know what I mean? That's just wrong. But your beef ain't with the dude. Your beef is with the woman. If you didn't know that dude, if this dude wasn't a family member, if this dude wasn't a friend, this dude wasn't like somebody that you really know or that's associated with you in a way that's a major violation, you know what I mean? Unless you got one of those situations like that, you cannot be mad at the man that slept with your wife, your girl, whatever. You can't be mad at that. Your issue is with her. It's with her. But predators are real. And it goes both ways. You know, we live our lives and we meet people. And as we live our lives and as we meet people, we're going to come across people of the opposite sex that we'll naturally click with. You know? But hey, man, if you married, you shouldn't be letting people in that close. And if your significant other, your wife, if she lets somebody in that close, rather than work things out with you, don't be mad at that dude. Be mad at the woman, because she the one that broke covenant. She the one that broke trust. Whatever your situation is. More advice. You gotta take the time to mourn. You gotta take the time to heal. If you're in a situation in which, you know, your wife, girlfriend, whoever betrayed you, you know, you may want to take a break, get away. I'm not saying end the relationship, but I'm saying if y'all live together, go stay with some family, you know what I mean, for a couple of weeks, or one of y'all, you know, leave the house or something. I'm not saying you gotta break up, I'm saying y'all gotta give each other that space. Because one, and for the man, I say, it's best that you make a stand. You know what I mean? Because we teach people how to treat us. So you have to make a stand and let her know that such things aren't going to be tolerated. Like I said, I'm not saying end the relationship, but you have to make a stand. Stay with a family member for a few weeks to a month. I mean, let her know that this is something that you're not going to tolerate. And not just that, both y'all need that time to reflect. You know what I mean? Give her that time to reflect. You know, if God is working on her heart, you know, as far as convicting her and causing her to repent, let that happen, you know? Also, by you moving out temporarily, getting your space, it shows her that you're not going to take such things. You're not going to tolerate such things inside your union. So, I say it's good to get that space, separate. And also, it spares you from doing something stupid. Because I'm being honest, I've been there. And I stayed. I didn't move out. Sharing personally about my situation, I didn't move out. I stayed. But I had my periods in which I left. Like I recalled a few nights I stayed at the church. There was a few times, slept in different rooms. You know what I mean? But I didn't really leave, and I don't regret that. You know, because my marriage didn't work out. So the little bit of time that I had with all my family being together in one house, all that stuff was precious to me. But like I said, I think it's a brilliant idea for a man to move out temporarily or the woman leave, whatever, because really it's both y'all homes and you didn't do nothing wrong. But, I'm not going to get into that. But the leaving thing, you know, it can prevent some nasty episodes, as I was getting ready to say. Um, in me staying, there were some angry episodes that I had. Don't get me wrong, I ain't do nothing like hit her or nothing. Don't start thinking no mess like that. But it was little things that triggered like major arguments. Like, for instance, when we were in the car together, she would lean on me as I drove, and all I could think was, "Get the hell off me." I wonder if you was doing that when you was in that other nigga's car. I'm just keeping it real. Or it was times when she was sick, and I was the kind of guy, my woman sick, I'm gonna take care of her. And it was times that I was kind of like that. I felt stupid. Like this other dude you would get yourself to, this nigga wouldn't do these things for you. But I get played and I'm sitting here loving you and caring for you. I know that kind of stuff mess with my mind. But I'll leave that at that. Let me think of something else. What other advice can I give? Oh, other advice. People cheat for many reasons, you know? Um, and I'll share some of the things that I encountered in my life. There's people who are brought up wrong, who are raised wrong. May have seen parents do some things that was totally not moral at all, you know? People out here have been sexually abused, or people out here that have been abandoned by parents. There's so many factors and so many different combinations of how people are screwed up out here. And all that, brings about a poor moral compass. So some people cheat, because their upbringing, rather than work things out, they want to play Tarzan and swing from branch to branch. There's nymphomaniacs out here, people that just gotta have sex and they're not getting enough from their spouse and they just gotta have it. I mean, there are people out here that cheat and they cheat on the people that they cheating on people with. You know what I mean? They just sleep around. Just some promiscuous people out here. There's people that just think it's normal. People that can't control their sexual urges. Um, there are people that just don't do good with boundaries. Like I recall one of my good friends. You know, this person, was in a relationship And this person, he was so much in love with the person he was in the relationship with, you know? But, you know, when it came to him and the opposite sex, you know, and I just shared a fact I didn't want to share, that it was a guy. This is a guy I'm talking about. But anyway, you know, trying to keep them nails, you know what I mean, silent. But anyway, dude was a good dude. He was in a relationship, but you know, dude was a dude that would always smile, was very friendly, and he attracted a lot of other women. And though he was in a relationship, he was the kind of guy that really couldn't tell people no. So, and he had a little slickness in him. But anyway, you know what I mean? This dude, you know, he cheated on a significant other. He would feel real bad about it, you know what I mean? And like most men that cheat, you know, sometimes it's mostly a physical thing. Like a man can sleep with another woman and be his heart and his emotions and everything be totally devoted to his woman. You know what I mean? His commitment would be for her. I mean, that would be the person that he loves with all his heart, he cares for, and him falling, you know, to the situation of cheating would just merely just be a physical thing. But anyway, I mean, there's all sorts of situations and all sorts of different mindsets that brings forth cheaters. The thing is, you shouldn't really beat yourself over it. You know what I mean? Whatever reason your spouse cheated on you for, you know what I mean? You shouldn't kill yourself over it. I look at it like this: when you're in a relationship with somebody, you either love them enough to get counseling or seek help or do something major to fight for your relationship, or you at least respect them enough to end the relationship with them before you move on and start messing with other people. So know that cheating is never justified. But don't get caught up in why your wife cheated. You know what I mean? Your girlfriend, fiance, whatever. Don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in the why. And this is what I mean. Don't get caught up in it, because truthfully, you thinking on it and everything is going to kill you. Indeed, we got truths that hurt, and we all got things that we need to face. But to be forced to face them by having your wife, fiance, or whoever to cheat on you, that's cruel, man. That's cruel. It's not like any wrong thing that you bring to the table could have been fixed by your wife, fiance, or whoever sleeping with another man. You know what I mean? I mean, if they really wanted things to work out or things to be different, you know, if they really loved you, they would have fought. You know what I mean? Or then again, it could have been a situation where, because I do believe people make the mistake of cheating. And don't get me wrong, when somebody cheats, they choose to cheat. But I really do believe that some people start off with innocent intentions of not doing nothing. And what I mean by that is not somebody that's been entertaining somebody over time, but I encountered a few people that woke up one day and things just went down, you know, and it was weird. It was a male and a female that both went through like similar situations where basically they were all moved on. I mean, they were in relationships and they met somebody that they was involved with from their past, and one thing led to another. Um, Nostalgia kicked in, and they messed up. You know what I mean? And the outcomes was very. It was almost the opposite. You know, one of them told their spouse immediately. The other one never told at all. But in both these situations, I really believe that they really had no intentions of, cheating. I mean, they were really sorry. I mean, it was just a one time thing. That's another thing, too, man, is to know the extent of the affair, you know? Because if the affair is an ongoing thing, man, that's just straight up disregard. Most likely, that woman don't love you at all. Most likely, she been gone and she didn't even tell you. But there are people, you know what I mean, that mess up, and just one time they mess up, and they're real sorry for it. But as I was saying, don't get caught up in why and how your spouse cheated, because it's going to kill you. Indeed, there are things in relationships that people do that push people away, and that happens in all relationships and on both sides. You know what I mean? But cheating ain't the answer. But don't get caught up in, you know, how they cheated. What other advice can I give? You have to love you. You're experiencing a lot of hurt. You have to love you. Love you. Though your heart is broken, I urge you. You still have to communicate with God. You still have to go to work, you know what I mean? Ready to do what you gotta do. You still gotta live life. You still gotta laugh. You still gotta love. You still gotta function. You can't let the betrayal suck your soul dry. You can't let it take your joy. These things are easier said than done, but you can't let what your spouse did to you rob you of life and your right to enjoy life. You cannot do that. You have to love yourself. Brothers, I urge you to walk. Walk. And as you walk, prayer walk. Talk to God. Talk to God about how you feel. Talk to God about life in general. You have to still be that lion. You know what I mean? You still gotta fight. You still gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? You still gotta have that go getter attitude. You know, you can't let what happened rob you of your routine, of getting yourself together, doing what you gotta do to take care of your family. You know what I mean? You cannot let what happened rob you of life. You can't do it. You can't do it. Seriously. Another thing, don't revenge cheat. It's not going to make you feel no better. It's not. Only thing it's going to do is going to make things worse. And in a way, a woman would turn that around and justify what she did, the wrong that she did, because you revenge cheated. Oh, that's the kind of guy you was anyway. I mean, that's what they'll say. Oh, you ain't no better than me. Don't revenge cheat, fellas. It's not worth it. It's not. Because as a man, and if you truly love that woman, you can go out there and find you a woman that looks better than her, that gives you sex better than her, the whole 9 yards. But if you really love that woman with all your heart, that sex ain't going to mean nothing. It's just going to be a nut. It's not worth it in the down run. It's not going to heal you. And I guess I can liken that to things I heard on the street from dudes that said they got revenge on somebody that killed somebody that was close to them. You know, saying that it don't make the pain go away. You know what I mean? It don't. And I never forget, I'm telling you, the craziest things you hear on the bus stop. And I remember hearing this on the bus stop. This was like back in 1999. South Philly. I remember. Dude was talking about killing the guy that killed his brother. And he thought that doing that would make him feel better. But it actually made him feel worse. I never understood that until God showed me something about what I just talked about. When it came to revenge cheating, you know? And I had a real good partner of mine, real good dude. Kind of went through the same thing that I went through. And he thought that getting back at his wife would make him feel good. And it didn't. He was still hurt. So, that being said, fellas, don't revenge cheat. Do not revenge cheat. Any other advice? It is what it is. Your life may change. You know what I mean? A woman cheated on you. If you stay married, you know what I mean? Your marriage is not going to be the same. If it does get better, it's going to be a whole lot worse before it gets better. And if the marriage fails, you know, the relationship, engagement, whatever, that fails, you know, after, you know, she cheated, you know, life's going to be different, man. You may have to move on. And hey, you'll love again. It may seem like you'll never find the right person, and starting over with somebody else may be a doozy, but you'll find love again. Just give yourself time to heal before you do so. Or if it ends and you have children by that person, you still have to co-parent with this person. And if things didn't end well, you know, There's going to be some tension going into this new situation of the kids going back and forth between the both of you. You know what I mean? And after a while, after all the things in your relationship have moved on, there'll be new kinds of beef that you'll experience with the person by how things are going with how y'all co-parenting. You know, so I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Um, but just don't stay in the past. It is what it is. Now that statement. It is what it is a downright cold saying, but it's one of utter truth and acceptance. You know, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Your life is going to change. Accept your life for what it is now. You know, you're in a rocky marriage. You know, your spouse cheated on you. You know, you're headed to divorce. You know, or you're divorced. You know what I mean? Accept your life as what it is, and you have to do the best you can do in a given situation. Now, know that the one who betrayed you, most likely, she won't be rooting for you. If things go sour, you know what I mean. She won't be your friend. There's gonna be some mess. You know, a severance is never smooth, and every once in a while you'll see one that is smooth to the point where you be like, damn, why didn't y'all just stay together? But you know, it's gonna be some tough times, but you gotta man up. You know, you'll get stronger. And one thing I can say, man, and in mine, I've been fighting a good fight. You know, and one thing I have to be honest about, you know, what I mean, God got me over my ex. You know, He got me over my ex, the betrayals that I experienced, all that. You know, God is good. But something that I never got over was me being away from my kids. You know what I mean? My family not being together. That's something that is a wound that I carry. You know what I mean? I am scarred from that. I am. You know, I got over my ex and everything that I've been through. But something I never got over is me not seeing my kids every day. And I done been in every situation, done been from having them, my kids going back and forth between us. I have them one week, she have them another week. I done been where I had them half the week, she had them another half of the week. I done went from having them weekends and you know what I mean, every other week. You know, eventually, she moved to a different city, I moved to a different state. So I've done been through all the situations, but I'm in my kids' lives. I'm active, and I'm fighting the good fight. But what other advice can I give? I'm gonna say this again. It's real important that you heal. And healing, I mean, if the relationship don't work, give yourself time to be by yourself. Don't rush into another relationship. Because one thing's for sure, and I know that every real relationship I had in my life after a breakup, there was always another chance given. So I'll just say, get yourself together. Don't date nobody. Work on you. Read the Bible. Pray. Talk to God. Exercise. Go on walks. Go to a movie. Live life. Enjoy life. Have a few guy night out. You know what I mean? Live life. Heal. If another opportunity presents itself, you know what I mean, take it from there. If things don't work out at all, you'll be all right. You'll love again. But take the time to really get yourself together. You know what I mean? Save some money too. Being with a woman, man, it means being without a woman means, man, saving some money, man. You saving some money on dates. You saving some money on gifts. You know what I mean? Save some money, bro. I think, what else can I share? Bruh, deal with your hurt. It's okay, brother. Cry. Talk to other men, men that you look up to, father figures, older brothers type figures, or if you have an older brother, you know what I mean? But talk to men, talk to other men, share with them. One thing I like about men talking is when men talk, they say me too, because we go through a lot of the same things and experience a lot of the same experiences, you know? You really do. But we don't talk about it as much. So, man, just find somebody you can talk to. You know what I mean? Somebody that's, you know, gonna respect your privacy, that's gonna be able to give you some good advice. You know, somebody, brother, you know, like the scripture, iron sharpens iron. You know, somebody that can, you know, build you up. You know, somebody that have been through what you've been through, or they can pour into you. You know, then when you get better, you know, you be able to pour into somebody else. You know, but talk. Any other advice? Personally, if I'm engaged or in a relationship or I'm married to a woman and I don't have no kids by her, and and she cheats on me, I'm going to count my losses and I'm going to leave. Now, if I had kids by this woman or my fiance or whatever, I'm going to try to work things out because it's always better to do the family thing. And I'm a man that believes in family. But this is the thing, though. A lot of these women are programmed to take a man's seed and discard him like he's not needed at all. A lot of these women are being raised by women who are indoctrinated with this independent single mother bullcrap that this world is pushing on our people, which really, you know, it all goes for control, you know, as far as the government, you know, being against our people. It all plays a role. But anyway, sisters are being brought up to take a man's seed and disregard guard the man like it ain't nothing. So, brothers, we gotta be careful. And not just that, we have to teach our sons that their seed is precious. That they gotta be careful who they make children with. Like I said, these women are programmed to take a man's seed and discard him like he's nothing. There's not too many family-oriented women out here. They're not. And there are women out here that will value a career more than their family. So brothers got to be aware. Also, other advice. This is going to take time. There's no easy fix. You know, if you love the woman, you invested time, married her, engaged to her, whatever. You know what I mean? And that betrayal, that hurt is real. And it's going to take time to get over that. There ain't no replacing her. where she was, who she was to you. What, you know what I mean? No other woman will come in and just fix you up quick like that. You gotta heal. You gotta give your heart over to God so that He can mend it. You know, you have to forgive. One thing I can say about forgiveness, you don't know forgiveness until you really stand in need of being forgiven. You know, but you're gonna have to forgive. You know, and I'm gonna leave it at that. But this is Holy Warrior Yancey, and this is my video for men, for advice for men who've been betrayed. God bless.